Welcome back to Press Review. Let's start by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. Starting with the Egypt Independent, which leads today reporting that the Muslim Brotherhood has welcomed the Brussels declaration that was announced by leading Egyptian forces against the ousting of Egypt's first democratically elected president Mohamed Morsi on the 3rd of July. The paper also reports that Boko Haram has released a new video claiming to show the missing Nigerian schoolgirls, saying they would not be released until all militant prisoners were freed. From Saudi Arabia, the Arab News leads its front page reporting that the Council of Ministers has decided to launch an intensive campaign against cover-up businesses run by expats in the name of Saudis across the kingdom after the Interior Ministry discovered that foreigners were dominating certain business sectors. The paper also reports that 5 more people have died and 8 others infected with the MERS virus, bringing the death toll to 147 since September 2012. Lebanon's Daily Star reports that Al Jadid TV and Karma Al Khayyat have entered pleas of not guilty to charges of contempt and obstruction of justice in a hearing before the Special Tribunal for Lebanon. The paper also reports that Russia says new European Union sanctions will hinder efforts to defuse the crisis in Ukraine and urges the West to persuade Kiev to hold discussions on the country's future structure before a May 25th presidential election. The Jerusalem Post leads reporting that President Shimon Peres has said that a president should be elected at the time prescribed by law, as coalition chairman Yariv Levin worked to convince Likud Beitenu party leaders to agree to postpone the vote as per Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's request. It also reports that Tel Aviv District Court Judge David Rosen is to carry the heavy responsibility of pronouncing sentence on former Prime Minister Ehud Olmert for his conviction of 2 counts of bribery on the Holy Land trial. The UAE's Gulf News reports that early exit poll projections have suggested big gains for the opposition led by BJP in India's parliamentary elections, which ended yesterday with polling in 41 constituencies. The paper also reports that diplomats say that a July 20th target date for an Iran nuclear deal is in jeopardy because Tehran is not providing answers sought by UN experts investigating whether Tehran worked on atomic arms. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East news from UK papers. The Independent leads Middle East news reporting that Ehud Olmert, the former Prime Minister of Israel, has been jailed for 6 years for taking bribes in a landmark corruption case, which could make him the first head of government in the state to serve time in prison. The Guardian leads Middle East news reporting that jailed Al Jazeera journalist Abdullah Shami, who has been on hunger strike in Egypt for more than 100 days, is near to death, according to his doctor. The paper says he was moved from his cell in Tora prison to an undisclosed location after his lawyer Sha'ban Saeed asked the authorities to transfer him to hospital. The Telegraph reports bombings and shootings killed 14 people in areas around the Iraqi capital Baghdad. Police officials say gunmen sprayed an army checkpoint with bullets in Latifiya town, about 20 miles south of Baghdad, killing 2 soldiers and wounding 5 others. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East news in international papers. From Germany, the Deutsche Welle reports that Libya's foreign ministry has confirmed that Fawaz al-Aitan, the Jordanian ambassador to the North African country, had been released by his captors, according to Libyan state television. The diplomat was reportedly already en route to Jordan. China's Global Times reports that US Secretary of State John Kerry's spokeswoman has said that he will travel to London on Thursday for a meeting of the so-called Friends of Syria group. The paper adds that she dismissed press reports about Kerry's planned meeting in London with the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas over the halted peace talks with Israel as incorrect. And finally, the international New York Times reports that Ehud Olmert, the former Israeli Prime Minister, was sentenced Tuesday to 6 years in prison by a judge who likened him to a traitor for taking bribes while mayor of Jerusalem in connection with the construction of a luxury housing development. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow, and bye for now.